Hey everybody, it's Marty the JavaScript Party and Rhett, and it is Saturday morning, the 25th of July. 6 days left in the month. Finished up the group refactor in my other project. So now I'm working on my Saturday project, which is the Say Hello project, which I think this project is really cooking. So let's go ahead and go over to that. If I open recent. Say hello. Say hello. I think this is going to end up being a neat little project. I don't know that it's going to, um, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what comes of it. It's hard to know. It's hard to know what you're going to like, what you're not going to like, stuff like that. All right, so here we are. And I think we're actually, oh my gosh, are we working on the, oh, we are. Okay, so we're trying to build a Word API PHP. and and basically it's going to get and basically it's going to return. Man, that is crazy that we're already to this. And it's going to return uh, a file. And so basically, when it gets a language, a region, it's going to try to find a folder named US, and then it's going to also try to find another inside of US. It's going to try to find a folder called EN, and if it does, it's going to look for a file called um, words.json. And then inside of words.json, then we're going to have to, all right, then yeah, so that's the first step. We're also going to need to um, add it like another thing, list of loader to until the data. Okay, move rows to the server to JSON, update Angular data to retrieve, update Angular data service to retrieve data that is the route changes. Update, yeah, so route. I think what I meant here, um, I'm going to change this to data that, oh no, we did it down there. Okay, I don't know what this is. Angular, the service to retrieve new data. Oh, when the route changes. Update the list to show loader until, yeah, okay, so we're going to show loader and then update the server to return a list of supported locales. So PHP, and then I don't know how you're supposed to do that. Would it be like get, like would we update the get or maybe, okay, this is a good time to kind of sit down and figure this out. Okay, so basically I'm going to go ChatGPT and then, hang on one second. Dakota, stop it. For some reason, one of my dogs loves to, um, well, actually, eventually they all seem to enjoy it, but he really likes, I have carpet and he loves to scratch at it like right before he lays down. Um, all right, so ChatGPT. I had another ChatGPT session going. All right, so to create a words API in PHP, and it should use this URL to return specific information. Um, that is a list of words or a given for a given locale. Okay, so let's just kind of get on the same. Um, yeah, so this is exactly like, but I actually don't want to do it that way. Um, so I don't. I like this. I think this is fun, but I would rather have the locale and then the same name. Um, would rather have the have something like words slash us slash en slash words.json. Yeah, see, I think that is a better structure, and it's just from experience. And see, it was giving me bad advice, right? Like, um, this is not like the worst advice ever, but it's not. And they even said this, which I think is even worse of a improvement. I think it'd just be so much easier to code it to just always have the exact same name. All right. Oh crap! You know what I never did? I need to add a thing for, and let's refactor at the end to add description. So let's do 21. I was thinking of this. So basically, I don't want just the word. I also want to like hello. I want like hi, and hi is a very informal, and hey is a very informal way to say hello, but it's more like it's typically more often used when you're just trying to get someone's attention so you can explain something to them. Whereas hi is just like, and then hello is probably the base most greeting, like that kind of thing, like information about it. Um, but it would actually be cool to see that full. That'll be a good test of the architecture to see um, how hard it is to refactor to add description. So description for each word. So like good afternoon, comma, greeting that is used after lunch, right? Like that. So that we're going to want that like in another column. So, and I think it will be pretty good because we're making a bunch of architectural decisions and I want to see how hard that decision is to update and implement on a refactor. It would be way easier to do it right now. Way, way easier. But it's like kind of like part of why we're doing this is that okay, so okay, cool. Okay, cool. So I also want to have an endpoint that lists all of the supported, all of the locales that I support. Now, I'm going to be, I don't know if I finished my point. So the reason I like this is because I would rather do it like this. Maybe it's the way I'd rather do it like this. Oh, interesting. Okay. That is a good point. I don't care about that though. But the reason I'd rather do it like this is because I can have the same file name. So my code can just be like, okay, this is the directory, this is, and then this is the file name. And that's really more on the uploading side. On the creating side, that it's going to be the advantage, not so much like the code reading it, it may be a little bit more complex if the file names change. But it's like when I'm uploading, I just want to make sure I have the right directories and upload. I don't want to have to like, okay, now what do I name this on uploading? It's I know I name it words. Um, that I have JSONs for. So on a directory structure, you can simply scan the folder. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, so get locales. Okay, so I wonder if should they have the get or okay, so do you think it get locales? See, this is one of those things where like it's a adjacent skill. I don't know how to do this, but I do have like I've been around it a lot, so I don't know what the PHP. Uh, okay, so that makes sense. So then, okay, so maybe I should change it to words. Okay, so instead of get, okay, so my other endpoint. So I do like this locales. Okay, yeah. I actually think that is the better way to do it. I mean, like, I don't think it's better technically. I just think that it sounds like that's kind of the direction that everything has gone in. So, that's kind of crazy. So I did create a get PHP. Okay. And then, and we're kind of hard coding it to this endpoint. So if someone were to like, excuse me, if someone were to like add like I don't know what just happened there. If someone were to like clone this, then I guess they'd be hitting my endpoint, which is kind of a bummer. So this should be words. And one thing I like about this is I don't have to do HTTP access stuff and all that. So okay, so this needs to be changed to words.php. And I don't know how to test this locally. So I'm gonna have to like via um, the test via the like FTPing out and trying it out and then and all that. So um, doesn't make me happy, but it's definitely not the end of the world. All right, so now I guess we're kind of still working on this, but the thing, one thing I do want to make clear is on this locales, I probably will not like. I was thinking I was gonna have like a JSON that I updated that had the list, but it's probably so much easier just to have PHP. No, so it'd be way more convenient for me to have PHP just scan the directories and create the list, but it'd probably be a lot more performant to have it like generate a list and then use a list that's generated. But then, I would need like some sort of and back end that I can hit some kind of PHP that I would hit that would tell it to regenerate everything. And so I don't know. I don't really want to go down. It's crazy how many foxhole or rabbit holes you can end up down. But anyway, so now I'm working on words PHP, but I guess before we even get started, we should. I don't even know what to do. Should this be? Well, I guess this is all under one. Yeah, one Like this is a mono repo, I guess. I think that's what they mean by mono repo. It's got my API in it. It's got my front end. It's got my end-to-end tests and all that. Now I have this thing right here. Okay, so that's not that. Package. So what I need to do next, and this is like I'm not as I don't have as much experience in this, but what I need to do is I need to go to DreamHost, and I'm going to put the browser onto my down here. So I can't see my normally I can like down here I can normally so up here is what you see. And then down here I have a representation of that with this program called OBS. And so I cannot see what I can't see myself now. Like now I can see myself because I went back over to this, but like now I can't. And so I'm going to go to DreamHost because they're the ones that do all my hosting. And then I'm going to log in and I'm going to have it create a brand new domain for me. And this takes a little bit of time, but this is going to be the words, I like email. Actually, I don't need it. Actually, I don't need that. I don't need that at all because it's the same domain. It's not words.api. It's the exact same API. So actually, don't need to do that. So what I need, and I think I already have the FTP set up so that I can do that. So let me do that real quick. So what I do is and that's another thing that I kind of have to do off camera because, so this is FileZilla. That's the one I use. The problem is that like everyone says, oh, it's your password, your password, your password, but your username is every bit as important as your password. Um, so let's see, say hello UI. Okay, so it looks like, well, so in this I have like a set of it like FileZilla gives you like a site manager, and inside the site manager you can store your usernames and passwords and all that. So I'm hit connect. I think even when I connect, unfortunately, it's like showing all kinds of stuff. So now I go to ilikeemail.com, and then we have our voice. We have say hello. We have our voice, but I think this one needs to be in its own. We want this one to be in its own words directory, right? Or words API directory. So I'm going to name this, I'm going to create a new folder called words API. Create directory. So I'm able to right click on the right side of it, and it has like a create directory, and then it has like a little thing. So uh, it has like a little pop up words API. Okay, so now I have a words API folder. And I believe with these, what you can do is you could say you don't have to put just code in there. You can have not code in PHPs. Hi from the words API. So the folder exists now. So let's try it out. So it's like www.ilike email and then words API. Okay, so it's empty. And so now I'm going to FTP my words API. And I've just like, I don't know. I don't mean to sound like, I'm not trying to sound snotty or anything. And I know it's probably going to be hard to not sound snotty, but like, I'm amazed at how many like people with like 10 years of experience developing software, web apps don't know how to use just basic FTP. And it's because they don't ever need it, you know. I mean, that's the reality. But man, it like having like DreamHost or something like that is very freeing. Okay, so now I've updated my words PHP. All right, so now it's kind of weird that I wonder, I guess we should put like, create like a little index, like an empty index file. Um, just say, I guess it doesn't have to be an empty index file, new file. And this is just going to be index dot HTML. It could be, there's just no reason not to make it an index.php. Okay. And so this is like, okay, so this is something that would be very useful for some people. Like for some people, no, it'd be very, it'd be very useful for some people to be able to to spend some time on this, but I don't care because I know how to make HTML and stuff. So okay, so okay, I'm going to create a simple index page for this API. Can you help me with that? And I don't want it to be like, and I don't want it to be to be helpful to people, um, comma, just to explain what it is, but not specifically. Yeah, probably want it. I think we have a words API, right? I mean, we have a words URL too. Um, so we have a say hello. Yeah. So I guess with we want to have a link to the say hello. So let's see what that is. Say, I think it's say dash hello. Yeah. All right. So um, is and have a link to. I do not access to CSS. All right. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's perfect. So now I'm just going to paste that in there. Actually read it. We actually do need to read it though. So, okay, this is good. I like email localized. This is provide a localized word for I like email dot dot. Now I think I had originally tell you when I don't even think I want this. Um, I wonder what this even looks like. We could actually hit this little go live button. I think it's, well, no, because it's PHP. So that would have been one advantage to having it just be straight HTML because then we would be able to um, we could view it locally. This I can only view on here. I would love to have like a Docker that matches up um, with my uh, I like you. I mean, with my what am I trying to say? With my um, yeah, I think that's good. And then this is this a good link? Yep. Okay. I guess it might be helpful in the future to actually have the list on here from the get. Um, you know what I mean? So like we can whatever function we use, but I don't even know. no, I just want to leave it like this. I don't want to get like deep into um, these into what am I trying to say? I don't want to get deep into PHP. I like PHP. I think PHP is beautiful, and my understanding is huge in Europe. I know that, like I used to work for this religious organization, and all of our stuff was in PHP, and I really enjoyed it. Like that, it was really nice. But okay, so we want EUS.en, right? No, en.us, en-us. And so I'm creating a new directory. Create a directory, US, and then I guess I need to create like a PHP. I mean, a JSON. I don't think I have a JSON right now. And I guess there's no reason to not actually do it here, right? En. Yeah, actually, this totally makes sense. Oh my gosh, actually, this is really working out now that I think about it. Because what's nice about this is that new file words.json. Like this, I won't have to do anything with, right? Like I won't have to um, like I don't have to build my Angular application to FTP this out, and then I can keep this in source control. Um, yeah, no, this is awesome. This is actually straight up awesome. Okay. It's so nice when things work out. I think in here, in this code somewhere, we have that stuff buried in there. In the source code, in app, probably in the service, I would guess. Data service. Okay, so right now our JSON is basically this string that is hard coded. All right, so this is what we have so far. Probably helps. But basically, we got the word. I guess we have a words, and it's an array of strings. No, that's not going to work because each word needs to also have a description. So let's go back to our JSON. So this is our English, US English, English slash US words. And so I guess we need to do this. No, I think what we need to do is this. So that says that it's an array, and then we want word colon. Okay, let's come down here. We'll put this here. Um, these don't actually work. That doesn't actually work in. And I think I always get confused because there's two things, and most people aren't aware of this, but there's JSON, which is JavaScript object notation, and then there's JSON. There's two JSONs. One is for like when you're creating a JSON file, and then one is when you're writing JSON code. And when you write our JS code that's using JSON, and when you do that, um, you end up with um, you don't need uh, the quotes on the left side. So that's kind of how you can tell if you're in JSON or not. Now you may be wondering, like, why in the world didn't I just have like word an array of words? And that's because I know that that would be like sabotaging myself for the future because I need to be able to add a description. So at some point, we'll add a second thing, and that's going to be a description. Now, at this point, I don't think I need an ID, which every single time I don't think I need an ID, I end up regretting that. Um, but I don't think I need an ID. And if I end up regretting that, it'll be interesting to see why that is. But here is our JSON, and now I'm going to FTP that up. EN. So I'm navigating to ENUS on my code there, and then I'm going to come over here. On my left side, I have to navigate to my words. And I need to, it doesn't refresh automatically. So I have to, even on the code side, or even on my side. All right, so now I'm FTPing my words.json up. And so I'm just going to double check. And there's our words.json. There we go. And I'm not worried about protecting that directory so that people can't see in there. I don't care. They see in there, they see in there. But anyway, so now I need to be able to get a words.json from here. And like theoretically, I could write the code to automatically just go to this directory, but I actually do want like actually do want the API to be in the middle. So like if I go here, there's this, and then I want, what is it? It's words dot where are you? Words.php. PHP. Okay. So now it would be okay. So anyways, now we can add, there's no reason you can just add these anytime you want. It doesn't really break anything. But let's go back to the README because I think we have it listed. Okay, so this is what we want. Words.php region language. So we just want to make sure that this is going to render. I don't think it's going to be a problem rendering. We also need to add like something so that so that JavaScript doesn't freak out, like with a cross-reference error or something like that. But all right, so now, okay, so now I have this page and I have, that's pretty crazy how fast that happened. Okay, okay, so now, okay, so PHP rendering, no code yet. And put a JSON file, words.json file in en-us. It's now not no, and it's now not no why. All right, and then I'm going to paste that. Can you provide the code so that the PHP generates? And I would kind of like to go through the process of dealing with the cross origin error, but I don't know. I just don't want to. And I want to allow my localhost be able to retrieve this data. So I want to avoid the cross URL error issue. That's everything I want. Return JSON with the correct content to allow cores. So yeah, so this is the thing, cores, cross object. I can't remember what that stands for. Validate inputs to prevent directory traversal. Okay, do I care about directory traversal? Allow only letters. I don't think that is actually, well, maybe. Your directory structure is enus words.json. Oh yeah. Okay, wait. Okay, so okay, yeah, which is a better path? en-us or us-en? I don't even know. They seem like the same. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so that's how I am. Okay. Okay, so that is how I have it right now. Okay, so R letters is limiting. Okay, so I don't care about, okay, I don't care about directory traversal. So, well, I don't care about limiting uh, the letters to only limiting the inputs letters. I would like this to be like this to be as lightweight as possible. All right. Structure. Okay, so PHP. We want this. Just tells it that hey, it's given a JSON. It really um, is really nice to be able to do that. To tell that, and then here it's saying, hey, make an exception for localhost 4200. So I think anything in our application, like in the URL, we'll be able to use it and all that, which I think this sort of breaks and makes it to where I won't be able to use the GitHub thing, which is kind of a bummer. And then this, yeah, oh, that is so, it's just crazy how much you can get done. But I think, I think I need a closing PHP. Wait, I don't want to cache. But I mean, the cache seems to be fine. Oh, okay, so this is telling the browser to cache for a day. Do I care? I think it makes sense. Actually, I think, well, no, I don't think it makes sense. Okay, so I probably, let's not. So like it's like, okay, so this would prevent like if like a legitimate person was just nailing just smashing the server, like legitimate, but it's not going to stop a hacker because they can just keep their browser tools open. They just tell it to ignore the hash, or they can hash bust it or whatever, and then and then it's just going to be a pain in my butt, right? Like, because then I'm gonna have to make sure that I break the hash anytime I use it and stuff. I don't want to do that. Um, so I'm just going to remove that line of code. So let's go to words.php, AV, and then get rid of this cache control thing. All right, so it's going to take my language, it's going to take my region, it's going to ask for the file. This is words not found if it doesn't exist, and then it's going to read the file, and then do I need a closing PHP? Do I need anything after read file? Okay, even not even a close to the PHP tag. Wow. For a PHP only file like words.php, the recommended practice is to omit the closing. The reason is closing tag is only needed when you are switching back like that. Okay. For pure, wow, endpoint closing tag has no benefit. So this is definitely like, I wouldn't call it new, but I would definitely call it like, it's different than when I used to work on this stuff 20 years ago. So it turns out that things change in 20 years. Um, so yeah, so that is not, you used to have a closing tag. You couldn't just not have a closing tag. Like one does not just not have a closing tag. Oh my gosh. All right, so now I'm going to upload my words.php. I'm going to overwrite it. I'm going to cross my fingers that it's done. Okay, we did not get it. Oh, you know what? I never saved it. It is not saved, so I just uploaded a file without any of that stuff. I should have known because it's the file size up here is 561 characters. Well, it's even smaller now. Oh no, it's only 51 characters. All right, let's try it again. Hello. Okay, so UN. Okay, so the language. Oh, I have it backwards. Okay, so the region. Well, no, the region is US, the language is. Okay, but I'm getting words not found. And over here, we're doing language first. Language was EN. Region is US. That's what I have. Right? Like if we go to I like email. I really thought that was going to work. I like email.com / word API / en / us enter words.json. Okay. And then this is saying that region EUS language EN. I don't know. Let's just for fun just switch this up. Kind of, well, I know it's the region's US and language is EN. So let's see. Okay, so it's saying language is language. And we are saying language is EN. Region is region. We're saying region is US. And we're saying look in words. Oh, no. I don't think this is supposed to be words. I think this is just supposed to be language and region. All right, let's FTP that up. FTPing really isn't bad. It's just bad when you have to build. Okay, there we go. The unit test is done. All right, so this is what this is returning. Okay. Let's see what it thinks. So this is what my words API is returning. I think this will work for my Angular application. English shape is probably better than returning a plains. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Needed to do it this way. I'm going to add a description. Actually, I can't even see what we have on our screen, but I think we're done FTPing, so I'm just going to close my FTP down. Sorry about that, guys and gals. I'm going to add a so description filled down the line. Yeah, so yeah, that would have been very difficult. This will be, yeah, a lot easier to deal with. And then, yeah, we'll be able to do that. Oh, that would be kind of cool. Pronunciation. Hello. 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 Category greeting. Pronunciation. Yeah, so yeah, it gives us a lot of room for growth. But so the API is done. 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 That was a lot faster than I was expecting. I honestly could know. I had, well, actually, that was not faster or slower than I had no expectations. It wouldn't have surprised me if it had taken me a month, and then, and we actually already did this one too. And we are back to here again, everybody. Yay. So next week we get back into the Angular where I feel the best and where I feel the most comfortable. It is so much harder there. Well, actually, that I said a horrible thing there. And I would like to apologize to anybody who works on APIs. That was so not anything near like that was the most simple API ever, right? Because normally APIs have to start, they have to interact with like databases, they have to have all kinds of security. They have to have tokens. There's just so much stuff that has to be done for an API. So that was just an awful thing for me to say. It would have been kind of the equivalent to saying, "Oh, look how easy it was for me to do my index.php. Front ends are easy. You just paste some HTML in there, you're done." So anyway, so yeah, that was a horrible thing for me to say. I'm glad I caught myself though. So anyway, so now tomorrow or so next Saturday we'll update the Angular service that we have right now that just returns that string, or we'll have it return empty and while it's loading, and then we'll probably have to have like sort of some sort of loading indicator too. I think that was, yeah, so update the load show loader. So anyways, yeah, we have to update it to do this, and then we'll do 18, and then 19 will circle back around and add like a locales PHP, which will basically all that'll have is en.us. Um, and then that one might. I kind of want. I don't know. You know what? Adding a new locale, there's no reason not to just actually modify the HTML manually, like create like some HTML that says, hey, these, yeah, manually create the locales. I don't know, maybe, yeah, but yeah, I don't know what to do. We'll decide. We have time. We have at least probably 3 or 4 weeks. Uh, then we start with other supported locales. Yeah, then we'll have to add some more locales. So that's 20. 20. Add 2 new locales. So probably it'll be like Japanese and Spanish, maybe. Maybe, yeah, Japanese and Spanish. What is it? I can't remember how you say hello, Corona. I can't even remember. But and then we'll update the nav to support other locales, and then we'll refactor for description. Um, and then so we'll have like 3 of them. We'll have some maybe when the one we'll at one point have 1, then 2, and 3, and then I think we might be done at that point. And this will kind of change gears into a more of a like a just adding new locales. Maybe I'll do like maybe that'd be a really good live videos, like, hey, let's add a new locale, or I just added a new locale, blah 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 blah. Does anybody have any questions? And kind of show how I do it, test it out, run through the factors, tweak it, and then while I'm live, people can, if anyone watches, they can ask questions and stuff like that. And then once I'm done with the little part of that presentation, then we'll answer questions and interact and see how that goes. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. We're cooking. Bye. Have a wonderful day.